Yep, and also since we're doing that, guys, I want to go ahead and just remind everyone that is viewing right now, we do have the live stream giveaways going on, and you can basically go ahead and join that in very easy steps to win 700 wild cores. All you have to do is like the page and the stream, share the stream, and tag 3 friends in the comment section with the hashtag LA Women Rising and !notify. Aside from that, we also have a weekly giveaway. We posted a question again last Monday, and to join, just follow these 3 simple steps. Again, leave the right answer in the comment box, hit the like button, and share the post. We will announce the winner every Saturday. And lastly, we have a gift away from ePlayment. All you have to do is go over to their Facebook page and like the page, look for the giveaway post, and sign up on the waitlist that is in the comment section, and tag 3 of your friends. Don't forget to tag your friends, and 7 winners will be announced by May 19th.
And speaking of that one, of course, 1-0 currently for Genki Amory, and they secure the 2-0, or somehow BBB Hera can tie it up to 1-1 eventually. Reverse sweeping. Let's find out as we go on to our second game of Liga Adarna Season 3 Women Rising for, of course, Wild Rift.
Yep, and so we're going to go ahead and get set up here for the players into Game 2. And, after the showing of Game 1, I will say, even though towards the end there it turned into, in favor of Genki Amory, for the most part, the game was pretty action-packed in terms of team fighting. Both teams performed really well. So going into Game 2, I am really looking forward to seeing how VVV can maybe execute better, or maybe even have an entirely new team composition to go through here. But we're going to go ahead and get into the pick and ban. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Mr. Izaq for the draft.
We back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2. We're actually gonna wait and see what happens here. The interesting thing to think about right now is that the Katarina still banned out. The Gragas banned out as well. So you already know for a fact that yes, Fuyu on that Gragas was devastating. So you want to see a Katarina and Gragas banned out. You respect the Hanyu pick of Katarina as well. Wukong and Shyvana being taken out on the other side of the map. So now with these 4 champions gone, what's the priority here? Of course, is the Diana. The Diana is flex, very solid as well. You know the buff was great. And now you get answered by a Braum and a Ziggs. People keep forgetting. Yo, the problem is not the carry. The problem is who's enabling the carry, and you keep forgetting about the Braum. The Braum with the concussive blows, enabling their whole team to just continue. You can see that possibly again coming in from GK. Not to mention this time they have the poke comp and the Ziggs and the Ezreal along with the Garen to front. The other side now is going to change the story a little though, because this time they're going to be the ones on Kai'Sa, and with VVV Hera making sure they have a Kai'Sa and a Diana in their composition. You know for a fact that this J4 is going to have a pretty good time, because a Moonfall, Unstoppable Force from the Malphite, the Monsoon to save the Kai'Sa, and then a Killer Instinct in to take out the back line of Ezreal and Ziggs. That's scary. It could help out Weena to secure all of these objectives easy peasy. Now, the final pick though, that's gonna be the issue there. Vi is great, but Assault and Battery, that's what takes the cake. If Vi can come in, take out either the Kai'Sa, the Janna, or the Diana, you know that the damage output is going to fall. If not the damage output, taking out the Janna would only mean that sustain and the save to not actually take out the Diana and Kai'Sa in the picture gets taken out. Then you only know for a fact that the Garen or the Braum could actually set up to get rid of Kai'Sa and Diana. So there are lots of things to consider here, but it's all going to come down to the top laners. Is this Malphite going to be a solid pickup and win the game for them? Or is the Garen gonna be the game changer here? Is it another clutch teleport? Or will the junglers battle it out to actually enable these carries once again? We're gonna find out in game number 2, as the casters take it away.
Game number 2! Yeah, thank you so much, Izaq, for that analysis. And of course, game number 2. True. Nahawa na ako, guys. But game number 2 would be still BBB Hera and Genki Amory. Muntik ko masabing Armory. But Genki Amory would be battling out. Sino ba talaga ang mananaig for the second game? Would it closing to 2-0 or closing it to a 1-1?
Yeah, interesting team comps we got going here. I'm glad to see the Malphite being picked as well as the Diana. Diana, very strong mid, by the way, being chosen here. So team composition wise, you know, again, Genki Amory. This time around, they're kind of having a more of a poke team composition over there. We did mention it would be nice to see some Vi jungle. You got your wish. You know, we now have
there you go.
We now have Hazel on the Vi. And again, we have a Jarvan being picked over by VVV. And again, we're just going to have to see how these teams decide to execute their team compositions. In terms of VVV, you know, now they have this Kai'Sa, and basically the AD carries have been switched. You know, we have AU on the Kai'Sa, we have Bunzi on the Ezreal, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how these are played out. Kai'Sa, Janna, as you were saying earlier, such a good composition there. And Braum also as a support is just so valuable for this team composition for Genki Amory. And interesting matchup as well in the top lane, at the Baron lane. You know, you have a Malphite and a Garen. Now, the thing about Malphite... Yeah, and it's a classic. And the thing about Malphite is so valuable when the unstoppable force is available. The ultimate's available. He's valuable. But what can Malphite provide to the team? And there's the first blood getting taken for Genki Amory right there by the Ziggs and taking on that Diana. So your first blood, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by the ePlayment wallet, your digital wallet for gaming and entertainment. And there you go. They're also going to be able to secure that scuttle towards the dragon lane as well.
I mean, there's the 2 vision advantage for Genki Armory, and of course, with that early first blood, that gives the Ziggs an early advantage. I mean, this is not an Airy Ziggs. This is a Conqueror Ziggs that can really scale up when the fight goes, probably goes south or goes in her favor rather. But when it comes to the composition, probably in the late game, I will, of course, this is hyper carry Kai'Sa, so they need to be careful, especially in going the late game. The poke composition can give them an advantage to like snowball in like the middle of the game, and of course, they just switch out the ADCs here with the same supports, but switch out ADCs. This might be one of the factors, or either one of the advantages that they need, especially the junglers. Still the J4, but the other one is Vi. So we can expect a different kind of setups, different kind of initiations, and of course, knowing Vi, she's more on the jungler that really wants to lock down someone down the hatch.
Yeah, true. And I like, you know, the Vi was picked there for the lockdown, but you know, VVV having all these tools available to them, just they have that wombo combo combination, which is seen a lot of times with Malphite. So, you know, they have the Cataclysm, the Unstoppable Force, and not to mention the Moonfall from Diana. So there's such a good setup there. And if things go south, they have a Jaina to go ahead and just knock back everybody, right, with the Monsoon. So, and not to mention, if Vi is trying to lock down that Kai'Sa or lock down a target, they can always rely on Jaina's pushback to be able to disengage that. So the tools right now are really set up for VVV to be successful, but they have to get to that point where they have those itemizations, and at the same time they can't be whittled down by the poke from, you know, a Ziggs and an Ezreal here. And so for our first dragon, we have the Infernal Drake coming up here, and again, everybody wants that damage boost. You don't want to give up, you know, a percentage damage boost here across the team. And it looks like Genki Amory is going to go ahead and try to take this dragon down. But there's the smite right from the initiation comes down. The Mega Inferno Bomb just barely missing. And there we go. The initiation is Kai'Sa able to get some kills here. And there's a death right there. But Garen just barely surviving. And there's going to be a back from here. It's an 0-4 team fight right there for Genki Amory, not to mention the secure on the Infernal Drake, and that is not what VVV wants to happen.
And I just saw probably the mile fight is kind of late in that process.
Yeah.
If the timing would be the Cataclysm and then the Ensemble Force at the same time, they might secure the Infernal for themselves. But in the case of mile fight being late in the party, having the early advantage already securing the objective and having the damage from the Ezreal, the Vita post the concussive blow, this gives them an upper hand, securing the kills. I mean, that's at least a 3 kill on that team fight. And of course, even though the ultimate of Ziggs didn't hit, it's still being valuable, especially dealing damage at the back line.
Yeah, and Hanyu on this Ziggs plays it really well. You know, she's in the back line doing what she does, throwing the Mega Inferno Bombs and all of the satchel charges to disrupt things. And you've noticed that we've had a change of lane here, of course, because the Drake has been taken. The next objective on the radar is this Rift Herald. So we've had the switch of lanes, and now the setup for Genki is going to be around this Rift Herald because they know that they have this lead and they want to further their lead with this Rift Herald. So again, poking potential from an Ezreal and a Ziggs, just pushing the Kai'Sa back over here on AU on the Kai'Sa. And now Jarvan does have that GA. You know, Weena can go in there, maybe play a little sacrifice, but the poke is so big. Malphite might be looking for initiation here, but again, the team fight for the Rift Herald is very crucial. Here we go, the Cataclysm, but it's gonna get knocked up, and there's the initiation from the Diana. Ezreal having to back off, but there's a kill on top of Hanyu, and now the Rift Herald has reset. Everybody's so low. Can they pop the GAs? Though both GAs are being popped, everybody very low. Ezreal still in the back, but he's not gonna be able to get away. Gets taken out, the double kill for the Diana. Now they're working on top of the Vi. Can they secure this kill? And there you go, the secured kill from Jarvan. And now VVV Hera is back into this game, not to mention the Rift Herald is going to be secured right here by them if they can get it in time, and that is a skirmish right there in favor of VVV.
It's actually a bad positioning, especially if you don't have the advantage. That's a 4v5. Yes, the Cataclysm is used for the Braum. IU dealing damage from behind. Bunzi Bunzi is just around the pit, but the problem here is you don't have the spike damage yet, and also you don't have anyone to frontline except for the Braum and of course the Vi. But again, the Vi is probably targeting someone. The Braum is probably saving Bunzi from danger. The Garen is just pushing in the bot lane, which is good. But if you're trading 4 kills in a Rift Herald for a turret, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, was it worth it to, you know, those are things that teams and Baron laners especially have to think about. Was it worth it to get that tower, to trade up for 4 kills on top of a Rift Herald? Because a Rift Herald is almost pretty much equivalent to a guaranteed tower, right? So that's 4 kills for VVV on top of being, you know, pushing that lane. And now we have the setup here for the Mountain Drake. Again, Genki Amory is going to go ahead and start this. Rift Herald being dropped in the middle lane. Malphite just coming around the corner. I'm sure he's ready to initiate this team fight. Braum trying to block him off as much as he can. There's the initiation. The unstoppable Vortex coming in, knocking everybody up. There's so much for them. Look at the damage right there, but it's just not going to be enough. Malphite getting taken down, and Genki Amory is here now working on the Jaina. Can they catch her out? Diana running for her life, trying to survive. Jaina, too much speed right there. He's going to be able to survive. And again, a turn of tables plus the Mountain Drake over to Genki Amory.
I get the time that there's a contest over that dragon. They executed it super properly. The only problem is you let again Bunzi do her thing and just mistake shot everyone, two-shot barrage everyone, and keeping her alive, courtesy of Slice Braum. But probably the engage is probably enough for VVV if the Diana's positioning is on point. I saw the Diana. She's slightly off the edge, hitting probably probably only one or probably two. Like you have the damage, but the controllability, the time that you will be holding that spot, it's a kind of bad thing, especially if you're against a composition that's really relying on pokes, especially this Ezreal and of course the Ziggs.
Yeah, and I think we also need to mention, Sly over here on the Braum doing an absolute amazing job at protecting, Bunzi. I think, Bunzi is able to make these plays because she's confident that Sly is there for her. She can bob and weave in the team fights and get those pokes off and land those shots because she's confident that her support is there to support her. And right now, Hanyu getting caught out here. She's got to pop the stasis, but she is able to survive. There's the Solari being popped as well, the Locket. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb. There's the Moonfall. And there you go. Diana being taken down. There's just too much CC coming over from Genki Amory, and now it's a disadvantage of 4 versus 5. They're going to look to do an early Baron here at the 11-minute mark. They're going to get chunked down pretty low from the damage here, but there you go. Garen getting also taking lots of damage from the Kai'Sa. There you go. The knockups are there. The unstoppable force. Can they get the kills here? Another GA is popped. This time, the Kai'Sa, AU on the Kai'Sa is still able to survive. Going to go for the Killer Instinct, get the cleanup here. Ziggs somehow surviving, and now Vi finally going down, but there's still a fight here. And there you goes, Malphite, the flashes are in, and there you go. And they take it, and Bunzi with the true shot barrage right there to take out the Janna, and that's going to be a team fight right there, Y2K.
That's what I'm talking about. If you leave Bunzi behind, I mean they tried to go for Bunzi, but again, Sly really doing a good job, like chunking up all the damage, soaking up all the damage, and of course, being the support that she's really built into. With that team fight, probably it's pretty early for the Cataclysm. To be honest, it's pretty early. Unstoppable Force is still on point, but main factor is you don't have the Diana to probably finish the job, or probably keep the Ezreal away from your team. I mean that's what really happened. Especially you don't let Bunzi and Sly do
Bunzi and Sly things.
Bunzi and Sly things. Yeah. you know what I'm supposed to say now.
Yep. And there's the flash from the Garen. Again, another dragon is up. It's going to be Ocean Drake this time. And, again, VVV they don't want a repeat of last time. They can't give all of these Drake buffs to Genki Amory here because it's just going to turn into a snowball. There's the initiation on top of the Ezreal. Bunzi just able to get away just out of that Cataclysm. Again, the blocking coming out from Sly. There's the Glacial Fisher. Are they able to pop off on this with the Instinct coming out? And there is the Dragon Reset, but now they're working, turning their sights onto Malphite and the Kai'Sa. And this is a disaster right here, but they're able to claim another Drake. That's Ocean, and also AU getting taken out here on the Kai'Sa, and this is the momentum that Genki Amory wanted. Another dragon secured on top of that, plus the kills, and this is just the momentum swing that they wanted to continue in the game, and now Baron is up, and it could just get even worse for VVV from here.
Mm-hmm. And again, with that fight, they have the potential if Janna have the proper position. Probably the panic button just triggered. Like I have low health, I will activate the monsoon, which is that not really wrong, but I mean you can just activate it more earlier just to have your teammates reposition the way your team wanted, especially IU needing the free hit, and of course you have the 3 crowd control monsters in your composition. But again, Bunzi doing Bunzi things, Sly doing Sly things, and of course, Huyu, great job in pushing them away. Of course, Hazel locking down someone, as we can see. Of course, as we can see with the Ziggs really intimidating on the bombs.
Yeah, I think also Fuyu is doing a great job on the Garen, just soaking things up. Garen has the barrier as well. So Fuyu's job is literally just to get in as many people's faces as possible, spin, silence, and if you get a chance to Mancy and Justice someone, right? So doing a great job there. And again, just allowing the poking comp here to shine really for Bunzi and Hanyu. And again, they're going to go ahead and start their assault on this tier 3 turret. Again, objectively, they have the Baron power play available to them, so they're going to go ahead and push into the base and wait very, very soon for that Elder Drake to come up, and they're going to have a very powerful, yet again, a Elder Cloud Drake. So that movement speed is only going to make it even more harder to catch this Ezreal here, who's already very, very, very mobile. Basically, as most Ezreal players are, that's one of the frustrations, is trying to catch an Ezreal, and when it's played by Bunzi to this level, it's even more frustrating to try to catch someone like that. Not to mention Sly's Braum just doing such good work here, and they're looking for an initiation at this point. VVV, all they can do is defend their base the best as possible to hope to burn that Baron, but it's looking like Genki Amory might be knocking on the door of the Nexus here. The question is, do they go in for the initiation? Can they poke them down enough to just end the game right here and go for a game 2 win? There's powered minions everywhere, and they're going to be looking to go on knock on the Nexus. Mega Inferno Bomb coming in. They're looking for the initiation. Are they able to end it right here? There's the Nexus. It's going to go taken down, and that's going to be game 2 finish right there for Genki Amory.
And again, having the pokes and the damage from Ezreal is too much, especially if your team is slightly scattered around after try to reposition after the monsoon, and keeping them in one place with the crowd control that you have. That's a Jarvan, that's a Malphite, and that's a Diana. They have a good idea, a good plan, but it's well scouted, of course, by Genki Armory. And again, congratulations to Genki Armory. Post-game analysis will be brought to us by our resident president, Izaq. Take it away.
President, right? And now to break down game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, the story here is actually pretty beautiful. If you actually go back a little to game number 1, mine was beautiful, perfect, absolutely solid Seraphine. But then you bring back Hanyu and you see a monster. Scary Ziggs, huge damage, supporting everyone on the team. This mid laner was scary. Now, to add to all of that, there was the situation of the dragon. If you think about it, VVV have such a good way to set up. If they could chain all of their skills in succession, they could wipe out a whole team once that's done. The big problem here is they weren't able to do it because they were getting cancelled. The Zig Satchel Charge, the Glacial Fissure, Assault, and Battery, that was such a big problem for them that it led to 3 deaths for the first and second dragon. And no one on GK went down during those fights. But VVV, they showed skills. They showed a very solid performance with how they kite and position themselves. And one of the weaknesses of GK being shown yet again in game number 2 is how they overstay, dying one by one, thinking they could really clutch out the fights in the early game. The longer the games took, the harder it was for VVV to initiate because of the poke and peel coming in from GK. And it came down, just like I said, top laners. Who could be a bigger distraction in the fights and in the lanes? It was Fuyu, yet again, coming in clutch. 3, 1, and 7, 13,706 gold. Most towers done, most gold on the team. Yeah, you could give all of the damage onto Hanyu, but again, who came in clutch to set this up? It was Fuyu. Yes, the Malphite was great. But after the Unstoppable Force, where was the follow-up? There was none. They could not follow up because, again, Sly and Bunzi just doing their own thing, making sure that it would not happen. And if you check out the damage charts, yes, Hanyu 26.6. Bunzi with 27.7. Lots of damage from the carries, not much from the supporting cast. A jungle, a top laner, and of course a support. They may have not dealt the damage, but they made sure that their carries were safe when it came down to the very line. And you can actually see that Hazel here started a big majority of the fights. Kill participation wise was absolutely phenomenal. And the targeting. The targeting was crazy when it came to GK to make sure they could poke in, peel, and finally adapting on the fly, last second immediate changes to make sure it could work in the very end. There we go. 2-0 going to Genki, Amory. Very, very solid stuff from this wonderful team. We're going to be seeing more of them in the semifinals, but for now, I'm going to take you guys back to the casting desk. Casters, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much for that analysis, Izaq. And of course, this again brought to us by Smart Double Giga Games, and of course, more bonding with friends, and of course, family if they're playing online games. That Double GG for you. 2 GB games every day for League of Legends, Wild Rift, again, Call of Duty Mobile, Mobile Legends, and FB Gaming. Paano ba yan? Just download the Giga Life app on your Play Store and App Store, or just dial *123# and choose Double Giga. With that being said, we're now going into our last series, and that last series would be Lakat Esports Hiraya and Empress Phoenix. What are you expecting from this forward, Naisou?
For the last series of the day, how do you say that in Tagalog? It's gonna be mainit.
Mainit.
Lava. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. Again, this is a lot for me. This is a lot of the first time that I'm seeing these teams. I've seen some of them play, like Next Play Tempest, DR Hellcats, which we didn't get to see play today. But I am excited to see what they have to bring to the table. Again, even the last series, we had Genki Amory and VVV Hera, and I think all these players are very even match so far. I think they're all amazing players, and it's great to see them play these matches today.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And of course, we don't want you to be waiting here. Parang chill lang muna kayo dyan as we get ready into our next series. And we are your casters for this series. My name is Y2K, and with me is Naisou. We are the team Hot and Sexy. We'll be right back.